Welcome to Moments with Judith, where we just reflect and share about personal growth, life, and how we can become a better version of ourselves. Have you ever asked yourself the question, what's the worst that can happen if you just start? Many times we don't explore or start, or rather grow the ideas that we have because we fear failure, or sometimes we don't start because we fear what people will think, or we fear that people will judge us. Sometimes we don't start because we just have this fear of the unknown and a lot of what ifs. What if I start and I fail? What if I start? Or maybe like for me who's here on YouTube, you'll be like, what if I record a video and no one watches? But I feel like the worst place that anyone can ever be is living with the regret that what if I had started? Or rather, instead of asking yourself, what if I start and I fail? Start asking yourself, what if you start and it actually works out? So many people have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of business ideas. We have a lot of potential that is sitting or sometimes buried within us. But because we take a lot of time, sometimes planning, writing down the ideas, waiting for the perfect moment to start, or wanting to perfect the idea before we start. But today, this week, I'm advising you to just start. Start when it's messy. Start when you are not even sure. Start when you are uncertain, because there's power in starting. When you start, that's when you are going to be able to, become good, and you perfect as you go. I've been learning something lately that, with social media nowadays, and a lot of people putting things out there, sometimes people end up doing things because as human beings we want approval. But I listened to Mel Robbins' podcast, like I think it was 2 weeks ago, when she was talking to one of her mentors, Seth, and he was talking about how we should not be influenced by what is happening in the world, so that we end up doing things for money, or we do something for fame, because when we do that and we don't get the approval that we are looking for, that's when we become discouraged. So rather, he was encouraging that if you have an idea, let's say you want to write a book, just go ahead and write the book, publish it, even if no one buys the book. But there's some satisfaction that comes with knowing that you did something and you are able to present it to the world, and you are able to say, this is what I did, this is what I created. And if no one reads the book, then no one is going to judge you. But it frees you, because at the end of the day, you know that you took your time, you put in your effort to produce something. There's joy that comes from just being able to present something and say, I created this, I made this. And that gives you the satisfaction, and you are not going to live a life of regret, of not knowing what could have happened if you had started. What could have happened if you had written that book? What could have happened if you had started that course? What could have happened maybe if you had started that YouTube channel? So just start from wherever you are. And also, because I've been reading a lot, like when I read The Atomic Habits, it talks about not focusing on the big goals, the bigger picture, but rather just changing the way you do things on a daily basis, because the big goals, they are made anyway from small habits that compound over time. So what is important and what I want to advise you this week is just start from where you are and keep on doing it consistently, and you will get the satisfaction of knowing that you started something, you created something, and you did it. What's the worst that can happen anyway if you don't start? Rather, you will stay stuck in one place. So have a good week.